Hello everyone and welcome to episode 19 of this playthrough of The Witness. In the last episode we finished the quarry, all the puzzles that we could find there. We also discovered a new rule about the star symbol, and we used that in the quarry to solve our final puzzles there. Today I want to have a look at another area, the castle area, and see what we can find there. There's also a laser, if I remember correctly. Let's see how far we are with this obelisk. We still have this one, which I think is the brown bridge over the river, but for that we need to solve something in the town, and that seems to be our last puzzle there. Now we've skirted the edges of the castle a couple of times, but we've never gone inside, and that's what I want to do today. Try to see which puzzles we can find there. Now, firstly, when we enter the castle here, you can see a little Easter egg in these spots where in a castle you would pour down hot oil, and you can see that there's people hanging upside down, or at least shadows of people. Here you can see legs and an arm on either side there. Here as well, some what looks like legs. So that's a little Easter egg that we have over here. You immediately see up there on the top of the tower where the laser box is. So that's where we're trying to get to. Now this area contains a couple of mazes that we can get through. And if I remember correctly, it's two areas. So one on this side of the wall, one on this side of the wall. So let's start with the mazes on this right side over here. So we see that a couple of the paths that we could take through this maze, this hedge maze, has been blocked off by these wooden panels. And there is only really one way that you can go through this maze. No intersections that split up. And here we have a panel that looks very similar, or if not exact, to how our maze looks. And so what you do here, if I remember correctly, is you follow on the panel the way that you took through the maze. And I believe we went like this. Okay, and that opens our door here, and a shortcut that we can take from the middle here. Then we stumble upon a second maze, and at first glance it looks like we can just walk along this edge and get to the end, but that's not the solution, because there's multiple paths that you can take through this maze. There's no wooden panels like there was in the first maze, so there must be a different rule that we have to also superimpose upon just get to the end of the maze. So let's have a look what's different about this one. So firstly, the colors, of course, are different. And when we look around, we see that there's this long gray or grayish grass that is growing on the bottom of the path. And we see that not all ways through the maze here are blocked with this grass, or blocked by, I say, but rather have this grass growing on it. So we can see that here, all of the paths that I take are surrounded by this grass, but we could also go this way. So starting from the front, I could say go right. We look, this was the way we took before, and that there was grass surrounding all of it. So I go to the right, see that there's a path free here. Then we can go to the left and all the way around. And you'll see that that is actually the only path that we could have taken which did not cross our path with the long grass. So now I have to remember where I went. So I followed to the right, then went around this little nubbin at the bottom. Then instead of going straight ahead, I went left and around. I'll go here after I get through the mazes. Again, here we have a maze. Again, now green hedges, but there is not really anything that jumps out. We have this brown edge around the hedge, and otherwise we have these little gravel stones at the bottom. But there doesn't seem to be anything visually different. So I'm going back to the start now, and this time we'll listen to what we hear. So you'll hear the gravel crunching when I go here. Let's test another path. So I try to listen to where there is no gravel crunching. So as soon as I hear crunching, I turn back. And you'll see that there is only one path through again that we could have taken. So if I go further this way, you'll hear the crunching again. So I go in, left, as far left as I can go, then right, and around. Okay, so I went in, turned right, turned immediately left and went as far as I could go, went right, and then here I couldn't go because there was crunching, so I went around this way. Okay, 3 out of 4 completed. So again, I'm listening, but there doesn't seem to be anything that sounds different. But this maze, again, seems to have only one way through. Or rather, it has two ways through. Could go this way and around. But it looks like this panel, what we see is not the same as the path that I've walked. So the hedges that we have here, they don't seem to correspond to what we see on the panel. So for example, you can see here it turns immediately right, but this way does not go to the right if we look at this panel. So there must be some paths that correspond to the panel. So I enter here. Then here there is also no path, but I can go 2 blocks to the right. Then let's see, can I go forward 2? I can, but then I'm kind of stuck here. So what I did on the panel now is I followed this path, but then how to continue. So I can go to the left one, but this passage that I'm on is not on the board. So that would be in the middle of this longer section, but there is no path there. So I think I cannot go that way. So let's see where we could go. So from here, forward 1, and then to the right 2. That would be going here, forward 1, 2 to the right. Then I walk 1 forward, 1 left, 2 forward. Okay, so the path that I actually walked was this. 1 forward, 1 to the left, 2 forward, and then this way. Okay. Aha. Look at this circle going around here. But it looks like we'll have to line that up with something. Let's have a look in here. Doesn't look like there's anything this way. Then we have this dark room. It has an ominous hum to it. And this brings us now up where the laser box is. And we get a good top view of the mazes now that we just crossed. And as you can see, this panel actually corresponds to the panels that we just solved on the doors of the maze. So what the game is asking us to do is redraw the maze that we just solved on this panel now. So I don't think I can remember them from the top of my head. So I think here I went this way, around, over. Then this is the one with the grass. So I think I went this way, around, and then this path. Then we had the crunchy level in which I went down, right, left, I believe. And then the last one is tricky. So this way, one this way, over. Okay. So one of them was not correct. I think it's the crunchy one. Let's have a look. So this one I think was correct. We went that way. So I think I made a mistake on the crunchy puzzle. Hang on, so what did I input? I think I input this. Let me try that again. So this way, over and around. Then this is the grass one, so this crunch. Hang on, what did I do? So I think the first time I took this route, but I think I need to go this way. Then here, up, over. No, okay, I have to go back and have a quick look to refresh my memory. Luckily I can sprint. So I think my last one was correct. I think this one was also correct. Aha, here I think this was my mistake. I took the 1, 2 over, but it's actually just 1. Okay, I totally remembered this one wrong. So what did I actually do now? So forward 1, left all the way, around and back to the right. Okay. I'm gonna do it quickly before I forget. Around, then took this all the way, this. Okay, there we go. Oh, it's already shooting. I actually thought you had to solve both sides in order to shoot this laser. But this seems to have already fired it. Okay. We'll do the other side anyway, of course, but just a bit surprised that we didn't have to do both sides. Okay, so we have that one. Then I think there's also this one here. So where do I want to end up? So around, over. This seems rounded. Oh, and this one goes to the one to the obelisk next to the mangrove, which is logical because this one in the forest or just before the forest, we only needed one more puzzle. But I think there might be more than one here, because I seem to remember that there's 3 of these maze puzzles that were on the obelisk. Let's check the other side, if there's any rounded edges here. So it could be just those ones, or it could be on the wall. Although I don't see any of the circles in this color. Okay, let's see when we do the other side. Now, before I go there, I also wanted to check that place we saw in the middle of the maze. Oh, this way out. There was also a little nook over here. So I think this is where the oil spot was outside. And this looks like a pot where they would heat the oil. And again, you can see that there's little people here where the oil is running down. Perhaps if you look at it upside down, it's people being burned by the oil, maybe. Let's go right first. Have a look around here. Okay, some metal panels. Ah, I think the metal panels are part of that secret that I showed you in the last episode of the shadow of a woman sitting, leaning next to a stone. And I think this shadow here is part of that shadow there. Of the head, probably. Don't see any environment puzzles in it, or on this side at least. Let's check the other side. So I'm also looking through the windows to see if there was any puzzle outside, but I can't really see anything. Again, a little shadow person in the oil with the hands here and here, the feet dangling out. And I was still wondering if there's a puzzle in these white fluffy, I don't know what they would be, like seeds of the tree, or perhaps it's dead leaves. But again, I'm not really seeing any environment puzzles, no rounded shapes that jump out at me. So perhaps this is just to have a look at those shadow figures. See that there's shapes in the cloud. Okay, let's have a look at the other side. Now I did also want to check out here in the middle. On the other side, there is also a ladder, or a staircase rather. What this thing was for? Maybe that's to get an overview of the maze that's over there. Because again, I'm not really seeing any other rounded shapes that jump out. Okay, let's head back the other way. So there was, when we got through this maze on this side, one path that I hadn't followed, and that was here down this ladder. So we have an area down below there, it seems. A cable that is running this way to this door, I assume. And then we have a bodyguard over here, but a bodyguard with a sword. So perhaps this is just a shortcut, because I believe we could go here from the start, just going through this arch. It looks like we have fencers here with the fencing mask And this one seems to have lost the mask. And here we have Elvis, or a rock star, and an audio recording. Woman on a throne. Perhaps the queen. And then a let's call him a heavy set man on the throne, perhaps the king. And when I walk on these panels, they seem to go down a little bit and then become yellow. Another bodyguard. It's not the same model. Close to it, but not exactly the same. So let's have a look what we have here. Now I pressed a couple of those panels over there, and we can see on this panel that it's actually part of the puzzle. So I believe this resets. So the panels go back up and they unlight on the board here as well. Now where is the starting point? It's here on the right. So we cannot solve it here on the panel because the starting point is blocked by this little metal triangle. So how would we solve this puzzle? I think we go forward, over, then go this way and all the way up. Okay, so up 2, left, over, down and over. Let's see if I can just walk that path. I want to leave this one open. Then go right here. Left to get the hexagon, which was in this corner, I believe. Around. All the way forward to the end. And that opens the door. So let me go back and show you the final solution. So we had the hexagon here and here, I think. So we walk on the panels to activate the puzzle on the panel, and then when we solve it, the door opens. Okay, let me start the recording and I'll have a look around.
I boasted among men that I had known you. They see your pictures in all works of mine. They come and ask me, who is he? I know not how to answer them. I say, indeed, I cannot tell. They blame me, and they go away in scorn. And you sit there, smiling. I put my tales of you into lasting songs. The secret gushes out from my heart. They come and ask me, tell me all your meanings. I know not how to answer them. I say, ah, who knows what they mean? They smile and go away in utter scorn. And you sit there smiling. Rabindranath Tagore, 1910.
Okay, so second type of puzzle. We have one to separate the two colors the black squares from the white squares. But this time it looks like it's not as easy as you would assume, because this panel has broken off in the middle right when we would want to turn left and take this corner. So I think I have to So I wonder then, will that thing light up if I get close? So let's test out what this did. No, okay, so the path is actually broken there. That makes it a bit more difficult. So let's reset perhaps. And see what other solution I could come up with. So I'm thinking we could go this way and around to separate the white squares in its own section. So go this way, go around, and I saw that there's also this wooden debris that seems to be sticking over a part there. So we might also not be able to cross that part. So let's see what I could do. Go here, go over, and around. Aha, and there's also an oily spill over there that will probably block the path. But I could go down here. Go all the way to the bottom, and that should now have sectioned off this black part. So these would be two black squares, and this would section them off all the way to the edge. And then I could go this way, over, and to the exit. Now the panels have all gone up again, so I wonder then if I can walk over. Yeah, okay. So once you've solved the puzzle, you can walk over without reactivating the connections. So this was the solution. So this is now a separate area for black. This is a separate area for black. And then the white squares there are also sectioned off. And then I wonder if this oil spill was part of something. No, okay. So we can go this way, but there's also something over here. Let's have a sneak peek. That looks like a rounded shape, perhaps part of a puzzle. Could be with this thing, that this corner fits in here, but we need a bit of a different perspective. Something like here maybe? Or perhaps we need to be down there, because it seems like this rectangular piece on the top doesn't fit all the way So I think we need to be a bit lower for those to line up. Ah, okay, I remember now. So this leads out to the boat area, but I want to do that later on. So let's have a look where we end up here. So I believe this is a reconnection to where we just came from. So through the door, there is this person taking out the garbage. With another audio recording.
If a man, holding a belief which he was taught in childhood or persuaded of afterwards, keeps down and pushes away any doubts which arise about it in his mind, purposely avoids the reading of books and the company of men that call into question or discuss it, and regards as impious those questions which cannot easily be asked without disturbing it, the life of that man is one long sin against mankind. But, says one, I am a busy man. I have no time for the long course of study which would be necessary to make me in any degree a competent judge of certain questions, or even able to understand the nature of the arguments. Then he should have no time to believe. William K. Clifford, 1874.
Okay, so going in here, we have to activate this part. There's no doubt about it. So what could be possible solutions to this puzzle? This long... oh no, this has to be horizontal. But there is no way to fit this one over there to overlap with this corner because they are not skewed. So they have to be in this orientation. So this one has to be there. This one could be here or here. And that's the only two that are possible. So let's see what our puzzle allows us to do. So this way is blocked off that I can see from here. Um, one, two. Go over. This way. Aha, but I can activate it. That's good news. And can I somehow hop over there without pressing any of the panels? I can. Okay. So this should do it. So let's have a quick look at the panel. So it was this solution. I think it had to be that one, otherwise you could not have this piece activated, because then there would be no possible way to cut this off. Like you would have to start from here, go up if you wanted to solve it that way, but because this is already activated, this is the only possible solution. Okay, anything hidden in these? Not that I can see. And this relinks back to the forest area with the shadows that we already solved the puzzles for the quarry. Now that I'm here, I found also, where is it? So there was this one white flower, this little thing, that when I was solving these puzzles, I mentioned that it looked so odd and out of place to have only this flower here. But then I was looking around while I was taking screenshots and I saw that there is this very straight branch going up to the sun. And at first I thought there might be something in there. But then when I looked, we can actually see that this tree is the stem for this flower that's over here. So it was a little Easter egg, that flower, but it was not as complicated as I first thought, that you had to stand on this spot and then find something in the environment. It was just part of the puzzle to have this little stem with the flower at the end. Okay, let's go back to our panel puzzles here. And then we just have this one more. So again, we have the Tetris pieces, the tetrominos, but this time they are skewed in an angle, so we can put them in multiple orientations. So it could be something like this, have them in the middle, or have them in two separate areas, perhaps even. There's also two possible endpoints, and the start point is in this corner. Oh, but there's also one in the other. Is it maybe a mirrored puzzle? Let's see. Oh yeah, it is. Okay, so it's now a combination of the mirror puzzles that we saw at the very start of the game, combined with the Tetris pieces. So it could be something like this. Although no, it can't. Because that would mean that this one is blocked and then we can never get to the exit again. Huh. How about like this? So that would mean this is covered. And then we would go this way over to the right. Let's see if we can go there. This way. Over here. Up 1, 2. Then go here, up, and over to here. So the solution looks like this. So the Tetris pieces are this way and this way. But now we had to cordon them off with the lines from both of the mirrored puzzles. Okay. Huh. I wonder if we can get down there. There's a little... looks like a priest preaching. In his preaching chair. Now I want to have a look what's down there, actually. But I don't know if I can. Because I see more statues, but I haven't seen any stairs down to that level. Oh, and there's also a panel puzzle there, or one of those separate ones. So I saw a man or two people sitting here next to the pillars, and they look like they are in distress, or perhaps it's boredom. And then there's also a person there. I can't quite see what he is doing. Yelling at the rocks. Oh, and another person here, standing against the wall. And I think now we can go back to the tower. So why is it letting us see this thing? Is there a puzzle down there? Perhaps an environment puzzle? Not really. Okay, let's go up to the tower. Because we still had that other side of the laser here. Aha. So we have here the same puzzles, or the same rules at least, on this board that we had for our puzzles down there. But only this time we are not confined by those objects blocking our path. So I think we have to find a solution here that just fits all of the rules, but not necessarily looks the same as it was down there. Perhaps they match, but I'm not sure if they have to. So let's see. So we have both of the hexagons. Here I can separate all the white squares from each other. Then, oh, this is a bit more tricky. Because there is this thing that I have to somehow include with the rest of the puzzles. But where would I do that? Have four next to each other horizontally? Because I can't just go down here. That wouldn't work. So there probably has to be another solution. This time I could go this way. And have these over there. Have that one separate. Is there a way for me to do this? That's tricky, because I can't go back up to cut these parts off. So this would include the Tetris piece above and the one here. But I can turn it, so I could do it this way. Include this one and then go around. So this Tetris piece is here, then the 4 horizontal is here, and then here we have the other one, this one, which is also turned. Okay, so we have this panel solved, but does it do anything for the laser? Not really. Maybe we only had to solve one of them. And then let's see. Huh. So I can activate these, but the pillars are in the way. It's almost like I would need a different perspective or solve the puzzles in a different way for me to get to the end, like something like this. Or it could be more complex. Same there. This part is blocking the way. How about over there? That one as well. Now, are all of these puzzles that can be solved? Yes, it looks like they are. This one as well. Aha. This one I can't do. Okay, I'll have a look at those in the next episode. I want to finish the episode here because I've already been going a bit over time for how long I want the YouTube videos to be. So thank you all for watching, and I hope to see you in another episode.